Steven here, and I want to show you some cool stuff that you can do with modding, but I want to build on what you probably already know about command blocks. So command blocks, I have a little command in here right now, set block tilde tilde 1 tilde to grass. So that's going to set the block above this command block to be grass. And this is just a really simple thing, but if you do any amount of browsing on YouTube for command block stuff, you'll find that you can do just incredibly amazing things just with command blocks and just in vanilla Minecraft. And all of that stuff that you can do, you can actually enhance through knowledge of modding. So let's just take this very simple command and let me demonstrate it. I'll put down a redstone block. I'll put it on another one so we can trigger it. There we go. So there's the grass. I can do it again. Happens again. There's the grass. And I want you to remember that command because we're going to use it in just a moment. Now, what you may not have noticed is I have this little edit button up here. That's because I have a GUI mod. I know you can't tell because the GUI is invisible. But there's a GUI mod running inside of Minecraft right now. This is a Learn to Mod GUI mod. And one thing that's cool about these mods is you can actually edit them on the fly. So here is the code for the GUI mod. It's just basically makes the background transparent. That's pretty much all it does. But let's add in I'll add in like a little red square right up here in the top, just as something that will turn into a button later. So if you know about HTML, then this should all look really familiar to you. I'm going to make a div tag, and I'm going to give that div tag some style. Actually, let's give it an ID, and we'll call it button. And inside of my style section, I'm going to give some style to button. And let's make it I'll give it like a width of 50 pixels and a height, oops, we need a P for pixels, and a height also of 50 pixels. And let's make the background color be red. Cool, so I'm going to press escape and refresh the GUI, and now you see a red square up in the top corner of my screen, so that's part of the GUI now. Actually, the red matches the redstone pretty well, so that will be cool. And I'm going to make it so that when I press that, so I can press G to get to GUI mode. I can press this, it doesn't do anything now, but let's make it do something. I can give this div tag an on click and call a JavaScript function whenever it gets clicked. So let's call it set grass. You can call it anything you want. Actually, you know what? Let me just call it foo, because I don't want to distract you and make you think that the name means anything. It doesn't matter what you call it. So script, I'm going to add some script tags here and define my foo function. So function foo. And now let's make some grass appear. So here's how you do it in JavaScript. Inside of a GUI mod, you type mc run command, and then inside of that, inside of those little parentheses, you pass in side of quotes, you say set block, and I'm going to do the same thing I did before. So basically we have a GUI mod here with a red square, that's this div tag, and when you click it, it's going to call a function called foo, and the function foo is going to run a command set block, the same one we ran inside of Minecraft just now. Actually, I forgot the word grass. There we go. Now let's refresh our GUI. I just pressed escape R, and now when I go into GUI mode, I should be able to press this. Oh, there it is. There's the block. placed it on top of me, that's why it went black for just a second, but there are definitely grass blocks right there that just came into being because we pressed that button. I actually don't like the positioning on it very well. It's kind of annoying that it spawns on top of my head, so let's change that. We can go into GUI mode. I'll press edit, and instead of having it appear one above me, let's have it appear one. Actually, maybe let's do 5 in the X direction. And yeah, 1 up in the Y direction is fine. So let's refresh. And now, when I press this, it should place, it said place block, but where did it place it? Where is it? I think it was that one that just got placed. Let's try it again. Actually, I didn't see it. Oh, I bet I know why we didn't see it. I bet it's behind. Yep, placed it right there. Let's go somewhere where we can definitely see it, like up in the air, and press G to get to GUI mode, and yep, there's a block right there. Excellent. Now what's cool is that you can actually very easily extend this so that you can let's say build a tower, for example. That's not too hard here. That's actually something that would be kind of difficult with command blocks. You could definitely do it, for sure, but I guarantee you can do it a lot faster with JavaScript. So I'm going to use something called a loop. This is a for loop in JavaScript. So I'm going to run this command for 5 times. And I'm not going to explain all of the syntax here. This runs this command 5 times. But you know what? If we just run this command 5 times, that's going to place a block at the same place each time, and we won't really be able to tell that anything happened. So let's actually... I'm going to start I off at 1 and have it go up to 5. And instead of running the exact same command each time, I'm going to have JavaScript plug in the variable I. So the variable I is going to start off at 1. I know I said I wasn't going to explain this, but now I'm explaining it because actually I'm using it. So we start off with I equal to 1. This loop is going to happen until, or as long as, I is less than 6, and this part means that I increases by 1 each time. So basically, this is going to happen 5 times, and I is going to increase by 1 every time. Let's see what that does. So do we now have a button that builds a tower? Yes, we do. That's awesome. Look at that. We just got a tower. So this button builds a tower. That'd be pretty cool. You could actually, let's make another button that does something slightly different. I think that would show off how you can start to extend the GUI to do interesting things. So we have one button here. I'm going to take that button code and let's just make another button. So div ID equals, now IDs can't be the same. You can't have two things that have the same ID, so I'm going to call this button 2. And I'll give this an on click. And again, it doesn't matter what function we call there. I could name it, I can't name it foo, but I can name it anything I want. But let's call it set dirt. Just like we should have called this one set grass. Actually, let's call it set grass now, because that's a much better name. So foo is now set grass. And I'm going to make another function called set dirt. And let's have it do basically the same thing. So I'm going to do another for loop, and let's set I equal to 1 and then increase I up to something bigger like 100, so we'll make a really tall tower. And this time we'll run a similar command, mc run command, and then we'll do set block /5 plus I plus, and then another tilde, and then grass. Now this can get pretty hard to look at. In fact, I probably made it a little harder to look at because I didn't use the same spacing as I did before. Maybe this makes it easier, I'm not sure. But you can kind of see, if you ignore the I and the plus and the run command, you definitely can see the command that you would run inside of Minecraft, or that you would put inside the command block. And I'm just plugging I into a piece of that, into the whatever comes after the second tilde. That's where the I is going to go. And instead of grass, let's call it dirt. Or stone. Should we make it stone? I think it would be cooler, because grass already kind of has dirt in it, and I want the difference to be a little bit more dramatic. Set stone, and set stone right here. Alright, so 100 blocks of stone. I think that should work. Now the one thing we're forgetting is we won't be able to see this second button if we don't give it some style. So I'm going to give this second button some style as well. Button 2 needs some style, and we'll give it a width of 50 pixels and a height of 50 pixels. And let's give it a background color of green. Let's make it lime green, actually. That's just lime. And now let's refresh and see if we have two buttons, and we'll see if they both work. Gotta press escape, then R. And oh, it didn't work. Let's see if we can debug it and find out why. So we have a, oh, that's because it didn't catch my change. It's not limer, it's lime. Let's make sure it saves. Good, it saved. Now escape, R, and there we go. So now we have two buttons. Let's see, one of them should place, there we go, there's the grass, and the other one should place some stone. Yep, totally worked. That was awesome. That's a very, very tall tower there. So this button makes a tower that is 100 blocks high, whereas the other one made a tower that was just 5 blocks high. And this I should be able to use this continuously. Let's try again. Yep, there's another tower. I can go back into Minecraft. I'm trying to get so I can build a tower next to the other tower. Keep sliding. Alright, let's try that. Build another tower. There we go. So now we kind of are starting to build a wall here. I'll go over just a little bit more. Press G and build another wall. Yeah, cool. And yeah, actually that's pretty sweet. So we have a magical wall building, or at least tower building button right there. Two of them. And you can do anything with JavaScript that you can do with command blocks and more. So everything you can do with command blocks, you can do in JavaScript, and you can add more on top of that. That's kind of what we did here. Was I ran a command, but then I made it a little bit more dramatic by running it a bunch of times, and I had it run a slightly different command each time. So that's the kind of thing you can do with just 3 lines of code. You can make a simple command a lot more interesting and powerful. Now, I like these squares, they're kind of cool, but just as an interesting treat, I figured I'd show you how to make it look like it's part of Minecraft, like they're actually buttons inside of the game of Minecraft. I have some code here that I found earlier for making buttons on web pages that look like they're in Minecraft. And I'm just going to uncomment that code right now. It was kind of hidden from the computer before, and now I made it visible just now. So let's refresh and look at what that button looks like. What I'm talking about is this button right here, not this command block thing right there. Let me actually get rid of that. That was something I was playing around with earlier. So that's a command block image right there. We'll just get rid of that. But the little button that says tower right there, that is styled to look like it's in Minecraft, and it's just a bunch of other style rules, a bunch of CSS rules that make it look like it's a Minecraft button. So let's actually take that button and I'll give it an on click as well. And let's have it just make let's call the set stone function just like our other button does. So it'll do the same thing as our other button, but it'll just look different. It'll look a lot cooler, I think. So there we go. So there's our red button, our green button, and our authentic Minecraft looking button. I just clicked it just now and it should have made a tower. Yep, there it is. There's a tower. I can try it again. Press the tower button. There it is. And I actually like the way that looks a lot better, so let me go ahead and get rid of the other two. The other two buttons look okay, but I don't like them nearly as much as I like the one that looks like it's in Minecraft. So I will comment out those two buttons. And let's refresh again. There we go. Now we basically have a mod that just puts a button on the screen, looks like it's a Minecraft button, and when we click it, it makes a tower 5 blocks away from us. That, I think, is pretty cool. So like I was saying, there are certain things you can do with command blocks, like place blocks, and those things you can make more powerful with JavaScript because you can run them a bunch of times, and using mods you can add in little buttons that call those commands, call those JavaScript functions that you write, and you can do all of that without ever actually leaving Minecraft. You can edit all of your GUI code, all of your client-side modding code right here inside of Minecraft, and you can then publish that and give it to somebody else, so somebody else could use your mod and put the little tower button inside of their Minecraft as well. That's all super easy, but it's a lesson for another time. I just wanted to show you how you can take the things you know about command blocks and you can tie them to cool GUIs that call cool functions that do really cool things with those command block commands.